Welcome to Classic DM, Episode 2, A Way In. As remembered last time, the marriage between Aden, the Archmage, the Prince of Ket, and Mara, the Chakyik Princess of the Tiger Nomads, stabilized the northwestern region of Oerth, or Greyhawk, bonding both nations, tribes, and families. When their firstborn child vanishes, Shamans and Priests divine the name Zinzerena on the whisper of the Night Wind. Four Baklunish siblings of Mara and three noble commanders from Ket, siblings of Aden, join forces to find the child. Their path has led them into the Yato Mountains, and they've discovered the location of a hill giant fortress. Following the trail of some drow clues, they're hot on the heels of finding who's actually taken the child and where the child is now. Your mission begins in a secluded cave, a makeshift base of operations. It's after midnight as your group discusses the plan. An early winter sleet storm rolled in a few hours earlier, a perfect cover. You all agree that silence is the key. The horses tethered safely in the cave, and the campfire extinguished, you move silently out into the north. The sound of the storm hits you like a wall, and the campfire sound soon fades away. Vaeringjar and Infiltration lead the way, Elafonissi close behind. Their steps light, silent, and blazing, an unspoken trail for the others to follow some 50 yards back. In the valley before you, illuminated by a pathway obscured moon by clouds, are thousands of massive stumps, all crudely cut with the mushroom growth indicating less than a year has passed since they once fell. Lightning flashes in the sky intently. Intermittently, thunder rumbles deep and low, far over the peaks of the mountains beyond. The party moves closer, and Vaeringjar raises his hand and stops all to crouch low. Ahead stands the silhouette of the Steading, a ramshackle log fort with tall lumber walls bonded by sloppy mortar, pitch. Planks of cedar act as makeshift shingles. The high-pitched roof lines of simple angles show a clear disregard for anything other than function. There's no form, no totems, no guards visible outside, no horses, and no banners. Something tells you that inside is a world very much awake and busy. This is no sleepy fort hoping for shut-eye before the next day's labor. This is a fortress of hill giants that only awakens at night. A singular tower glows warm red, perhaps from a lone torch or a poorly attended brazier. Vaeringjar, Elafonissi, and Infiltration all move closer. A few hand signals and you split up and search the perimeter of the fortress. Speckled along the outer walls are a series of flagstone and rough-cut granite chimneys, all smoldering burning oak with a scent of pine. Rising in the center is a massive series of stacked hip roofs with gaps and clerestory openings, but no windows. A lighter color smoke rises faster through these gaps, filled with the scent of charred meat and burned hide. Vaeringjar, Infiltration, and Elafonissi soon return to the rest of the group, and you all huddle under one of the evergreens still standing in the valley. Vaeringjar reports to you. 3 sets of double doors, an iron-bound timber, each one 8 feet tall. One pair is on the east, another one on the north, and the main entrance along a muddy road, probably the primary entrance, seems to be ajar. I peeked in. Some hill giants inside are snoring and mumbling in their sleep, not sure about what's in the tower, but we could slip in easily one by one. The opening's just wide enough. Your group turns to the fort, peering from under the canopy of the pine fronds. The rain trickles between the branches and the pine cones and dribbles on the armor and the gear of your comrades. Each of you tries to imagine what's inside and what's going to happen next, but there's certainly no fear. Mercedes says, "Let's do this." You Baklunish stealth in single file if you have to. We'll follow in, but don't attack until I signal everything. If anyone yells or they rather raise the alarm, silence them. Magic, slit throats, doesn't matter, just kill them. I don't want the whole fort scrambling and a bunch of brass gongs going off. The group agrees and moves in. The group circles on the edge of a steep slope and gather near a copse of trees. Vaeringjar and Elafonissi slip inside. The muddy road, the rest of the party wait quietly, listening. The rain dribbles down across their armor, the darkness and the thunder, cold and wet, and there's really no sound. And a few minutes go by, and then Vaeringjar comes and peeks his head through the window and signals for everyone to come inside. Elafonissi and Vaeringjar hide in shadows, an easy skill check for either one of them. For Vaeringjar, what's it going to take? His hide in shadows is super easy, 68%. Let's do a quick check for him with the red. A 51, easy, completely concealed, moving concealed. He huggles the inside wall toward the south side into the corner. Elafonissi, with a quite high movement rate, wants to split over to the other side. She also can hide in shadows. Let's see if she can make her check as well. Hide in shadows for her is a simple 68 as well. Let's give her a blue roll for that. That's 58. Easy, easy work. So inside this entry room is the place is pretty much bare. The ground's covered with mud. A couple of torches burn and molder on the walls. The old muddy road is covered with dirt and debris, old footprints, puddles of water. Two braziers burn by two large doors, filling the room kind of with smoke that tries to slip out through the crack in the doorway that everyone came in through. Along the wall are a series of capes and bags. Elafonissi slips in behind some of the bags and conceals herself. The rest of this area is relatively dark and it's hard to see much beyond it, but the sound of snoring is really quite evident. Leaning against the side of a stairwell with a big bottle of beer or ale with a slightly emptied, knocked over keg next to them are two hill giants slumped against a wall, their weapons laying at their feet. Vaeringjar slips back over to the doorway and signals for everyone else to come in. And then one by one they all slip in. And as everyone gets out of the rain, Zoller is close behind. And Tola Obscura move over by the doorway. Vaeringjar symbols for the rest of the party to remain quiet, while him and Elafonissi continue to move quietly across the room. Let's give a quick little check to make sure they're detected. Hill Giants are pretty much dead asleep. We'll give them a 1 in 20 chance to wake up. 5, no way. Ooh, that looks like a 1. Oh, it's a 7. Thank goodness. These two bad boys are dead, drunk, and asleep. But these guys aren't no strangers to adventure. Elafonissi's going to continue to slide and hide in shadows. And Vaeringjar's going to get himself positioned along here and on the spear wall. As she moves past this doorway here, she can hear in the distance a lot of yelling and screaming and battling, joking and singing. Like a grand feast or party is happening behind these two massive doors. But up ahead, she can see the wispy smoke of another brazier burning rising up over the top of the staircase. So let's give her another hide and shadows check just to make absolutely sure she's still concealed. 54 is easy. Remember, she only needs a 68. So Elafonissi, with her monk speed, is able to move around the corner and peer, where she should be able to see over here. We've got yet another hill giant, the top of his head sticking up over the stairwell, seemingly passed out drunk. And from up the stairs here, with his huge massive wooden steps, she thinks she hears more snoring. She slips back over to the corner to take a good look at these two. Let's give these hill giants one more check. They snort and roll over. I'll give them a 1 in 20 chance to wake up. No way. I think the 20 means that guy's in a coma. The rest of the party over here slides as quietly as they can. Some of them are wearing some heavy armor. They know not to make much noise. They're pretty far away. They're like over 50 feet away. The druid knows how to move quietly. She slips over to here. Obscura stays in the back. And the cleric knows he makes noise too. Behind this door behind them, they don't really hear much of anything. So Obscura decides to go ahead and set herself up in case the door even moves, that she can get out of the way. And then Tola puts herself up against these cloaks. The druid watches intently, ready to make a move the moment Vaeringjar signals something. Elafonissi's in position here, and she signals with hand signals that there may be more upstairs. What's the plan? What are they going to do? Mercedes comes forward, points 2 fingers. One at this fella. One at this fella. Vaeringjar goes back. No. He moves up behind this one, slowly pulls out both his axes really quietly. We'll give this hill giant 1 in 20 chance to wake up. Nope. Dead asleep. Elafonissi gets the signal. Vaeringjar messages to her. She comes around this area here. Let's make sure she's still concealed. Got to check every now and then. 51. She's still completely concealed in the shadows. Turns a quarter, gets herself in position here. 3 hill giants. None of them are going to wake. Mercedes and Zollers move forward to get about right here. And let's give these guys one last chance to try to wake up. Blue for the guy down low. 10, no way. 3, no way. And they're ready to attack. Now, one thing about being an assassin that's so much fun is you do quadruple damage. This is a level 10 assassin. If he attacks these guys from back, this complete free backstab, flat-footed. The hill giant's normally like an armor class of 4. So for him, he needs to hit, armor class of 0. What does he need? A 12? An armor class of 4? That means he only needs an 8. I'll give him a bonus of an extra 4 just because these guys are completely slumbered and sleeping. 2 axes to the back of the spine should take care of problems. Let's give him 2 220 rolls to see what we get here. Because you never know. A 1, ooh, that's not good. That's like a complete miss no matter what happens. Anytime in the first edition, a 1 is bad news, but a 19 is brutal. So we got 1 really, really strong hit on this giant here. That's going to immediately wake him up because he's going to be wounded. Let's see if it actually kills him on the spot. The weapon damage on that axe is +3 black axe, 1 to 8, plus 6 against large targets. We're going to quadruple this damage, okay? This is going to be fun. We'll use a nice red die for that one. This is going to be multiplied by 4. So 8. 1 to 8 plus 6. 14 times 4. Let's compare that to our lovely guide here. Way over 34 hit points. This guy's immediately dead. Almost made a sound. Almost made a sound. That second axe, if both of them had missed, that second axe might have caused problems. This guy died silently. I'm still going to check for this guy here to see if he wakes up. I'll give him a 2 in 20 or less to wake up. But 19, no way. He's completely asleep. Just in time for these two to come rushing in and basically just lay into him. Just in time for Vaeringjar to step over the corpse very deftly and take a swing at him. The moment Elafonissi hears this guy gurgling, we're going to give him a chance to wake up. We'll give him a 2 in 20 chance for the sound. Nope, no way. Elafonissi's chance to open hand attack this guy while he's asleep. So let's take a look at Elafonissi real quick. Remember, instead of using her staff, her open hand attack is going to do the most amount of damage. She needs a 14 to hit AC 0. These guys are AC 4, so you just take 10 away right there. She only needs a 10 to hit. These guys are sleeping, okay? We're giving them a +4 bonus for being completely asleep. So what does she really need to hit this guy? A 6. So she gets I always like to give her 2 attacks at level 10. That's kind of a modified rule that I like to do. Technically, by the book, you don't have multiple attacks around, but for a monk using her bare fist on someone lying on the ground asleep, this isn't quivering palm. This is going to be nasty. A 7 and a natural 20. Everyone knows a natural 20 is complete nastiness, double damage. So we got 1 hit that's regular damage, open hand. That's going to be 3 to 13. Let's make that just 3d4. Keep it simple. That's a 2 and a 4 and a 1. So that's 7. And we'll make that the double damage one for 14. And then we're going to do it again for the other hand. A 3 and a 1 is 4 and a 7. So a 14 and a 7 puts us about 21. That doesn't flat out kill this guy. He's at 27 health. So he's immediately going to wake up and we're going to have to roll for initiative. So Elafonissi's already in a good position, so even when he wakes up, it almost gives her an attack of opportunity right off the bat. But I don't want to be too much of a Mr. Nice Guy. I want to finish the fight with these two before we move back over. So actually, one thing I need to do right away, I didn't even realize this, is you can't actually see what's going on over there. So let's just move that over. Now, if you were really sitting at the table, you'd be like, oh my god, this is awesome. Now you can actually see it, right? There you go. Sorry about that. So we're talking about Elafonissi with the sleeping hill giant over here. So she just popped him once for 21 damage. He got 26 hit points left. This guy's stone cold dead. Vaeringjar's about to take attack here. 2 bloodthirsty warriors are ready to impale this guy. He stands no chance at all. But he's woken up and he's got 6, maybe 7 hit points left. So let's jump back over to these guys and handle this, and then we'll figure out what to do with this guy that just woke up. So let's just take it this simple way. We all know Mercedes is the one that's the most brash and arrogant and has the most tactical prowess. She's going to be the first one to swing. That 2-handed sword of hers is going to come flying in way before Zalars can get his glaive there. And Zalars knows what it's like to play with Vaeringjar. These two are brothers, remember? He knows that if Vaeringjar's stepping over a corpse to take an attack on this hill giant, he doesn't really need to be there to do anything. That's why he's positioned himself this flank. So if this guy starts to get up, they're both attacking him from this direction. That's how players need to think when they play together. But Mercedes, you know, it's a headlong charge straight into the pit of hell. So what does Mercedes need to hit? These guys are all AC 4. She only needs a 6 to hit 0. This is like an automatic hit unless she rolls a 1. So there's a 14. Now against large opponents, if you see her damage, against large and giants, it's a 3d6 plus 5. I'm going quick here because I want the combat to end pretty fast. So we got 3d6 damage plus 5. So here's 5, another 6. That's 11 plus 5. What is that? 16? 16 is not quite enough. Not quite enough to flat out kill this guy. She's not the only person that's going to kill him. This guy's dead. He's okay. He's at 21. This guy has 40 hit points. What did we say she did? 21? 19 left? Something like that? Now, Zalars is quick on the mend here. He's going to know exactly what to do. The rest of the group that's back over here are going to start moving forward, trying to use the smoke to conceal themselves a little bit. They're kind of at ready to do something. Obscura's going to stay shy and stay in the back by the bags, but the Druid is going to try to stay closer to her siblings, and she wants to move away from the smell of the smoke. And Tola realizes all the smoke is here, and he's going to move out to the middle of the room so he has a good line of sight to everyone. But Obscura's going to stay back here just in case something comes popping out this door in the back, because you really never know, because I'm not going to be nice to people here, okay? So we still need to resolve this, but I still want Zollers to get his chance. Let's be fair and give this Hill Giant guy one last chance to do something. He's just been whacked in the stomach with a two-handed sword. He's got that other guy right next to him on his peripheral vision waking up. We'll give him a 4 or less on a 20 to be able to react and roll an initiative roll. That's a 9, so he's still not fast enough, 2 days from the pain, so Zollers is going to get a free attack. So Zollers has got this +4 burning glaive. It's like a long pole arm that has like a huge massive axe on the end of it, and it's burning with fire. So he's going to hit for regular damage and fire damage. And since it's a large target, we're basically going to roll, as you can see down here, we're going to roll a 1d10 +1, so that's like 2 to 11, plus the 1d8 for the fire damage. So basically we roll 1d10 +1 and 1d8 for the fire damage. Actually, let me put that back up on screen so you can see that. That's one thing I need to get a little bit better at doing. Let's give you that data here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to let you have this here. So this is the damage we're going to look for right here with this guy. So let's do a roll to hit. What does he need? To hit AC 0 is a 6. So just take 4 off that, puts it down to 2. Anything higher than a 2 is going to be an absolute hit. So a 12, easy hit. Remember the damage? 1d10. Gotta love the 1d10. Let's use a red for him. 1d10 +1, excuse me. 1d10 +1 is a 6, plus 1d8 for the fire damage, which happens immediately. Ugh, 6 and 1, 7. Now that's pretty weak. That's maybe just a stab into the forearm, wouldn't you say? So we've got a guy with 19 hit points. He's going to be chipped down to about 12 now. So this guy might have a fighting chance if he can do something about it. But Vaeringjar is right there next to him. This is almost a complete free backstab. But I'm going to give this Hill Giant guy 20% chance to flinch out of the way. So if I get 20% or less on this this percentile die roll, then he's going to be able to kind of, I'm going to try to have him flinch back out of the way like, oh God, get me out of here. Oh, a 0-0-1. That is almost like a heroic maneuver. So as soon as the two-handed sword hits him and he flinches his arm out, the glaive from Zollers jams him in the arm, and he realizes that the assassin's here with the 2 axes out, sees his fallen brother, immediately jumps back. And I'm actually going to be really nice here and give him a free attack, just a backhand attack right at Mercedes' face, so they'll get the devil off me type swing. So let's check out Mercedes. What's her stats? What do we need to do to hit her? So for these Hill Giant fellas, and I jotted this down earlier, to hit AC 0, they only need a 12, okay? Now her AC is -2, so we got to add 2 more numbers to that. So that's not too hard to beat. They hit a 14 or higher on this, he's going to hit her in the face. And Hill Giants can hit pretty hard, and that's only a 5, excuse me, so that's not quite enough. So his backhand swing kind of exposes his belly, he's wide open. So now it's everyone's chance to, let's roll for initiative. Everyone's had a chance to react. What I like to do with initiative is I actually like to roll a 3d6. I know it sounds kind of different than the base rules, but a 3d6, and just add the modifier of the person closest by, since the dice rolls for the dexterity roll is already a 3d6 roll. Some people do it differently. I like to do it that way. It kind of feels more like the dexterity adjustment numbers of lesser value. It's not as incredible. So this is going to be for the giant, right? So we give him this is an 11. He has no dex bonus because it's a goofball. So that's a 5 and a 6. And that's an 11 for him. And let's see what... Let's take this in order here. We're going to roll for initiative for these 3. So Mercedes, what's her number going to be? A 4, 8, and a 9. So she's going to be a 9, right? And what's this guy going to be? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is an 11. And this guy's got what, like 12 hit points left or something? Let's see what Zollers can come up with to beat that. An 8. So 8 and a 9. Looks like our Hill Giant's going to get to do something again. Let's give Vaeringjar. Now he's going to get a dex bonus here. That's an 8 and a 1. So that's only a 9. Let's see what Vaeringjar has for a dex bonus. So he's got a +2, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, that's a tiebreaker. So in this kind of situation, here's what I would rule. This Hill Giant just had this heroic reaction, in my opinion, like, oh my God, what the hell happened? I just got stabbed in the stomach with a 2-handed sword. I'm not dead yet. This other guy tried to jab me with his burning glaive. That would shock you right away. I see my fallen buddy dead behind me. The beard's gone. I've been jarred awake out of the corner of my eye. I see this druid who's probably not. I'm going to move her in like 1 unit here, like a 1-step. We'll give a 1-step here for the cleric. And Obscure is going to take a 1-step because she's worried that maybe he's going to move down this way. So let's just put Obscure right past this brazier. And we still need to resolve this over here too, okay? So we're going to give him one more chance here, and he took a backhand against her. Let's just say he makes a grab at a weapon. Say he has a hand axe at his side. Maybe his club was laying on the ground. He doesn't really want to go for the club, but grab a little cheap, crappy hand axe hanging from his belt and take a swipe at the girl. I mean, that's what I would do if I was a hill giant. Would you do that? Why try to take a step forward and swing at these two guys and put yourself in this position here? So, to hit AC 0, these hill giants only need a 12. Let's take a look again at Mercedes' stats. This is where this kind of stuff comes in handy. Let's just pop to her real quick here. There we go. There we go. She's -2. So to hit AC 0, he needs a 12. So he needs 2 more, so he needs a 14. So we're going to give him a 14 roll. Let's use a different color for him. You give him a pink one. A 2. These guys are so unlucky. Thankfully, none of them made any noise yet, because this has taken a lot longer than they originally planned. So another swipe of the axe, and now he's completely exposed and flat-footed. So now we take the order. Vaeringjar goes first, then Zalaris, then Mercedes. I feel sure Vaeringjar will end the deal quite quickly. Now, he's got 2 weapons here. We'll do the blue as the offhand, okay? Let's switch back this. The way dual wield works in the first edition is very tricky. It's not like Rangers in the second edition. What I like to do is just roll for each weapon, okay? The main hand weapon at his level gets a -2 penalty. Now, this is only an AC 4 target. He would only need a natural 8 to hit this guy, okay? So we're going to need to roll a 10 or higher or an 8. So the main hand will make that blue. That's easy hit with the main hand. The offhand has no penalty. Ooh, the offhand misses. So the main hand hits. And that's a 1d8 plus 6. Now we're really nerding out, aren't we? A 1d8 plus 6. Is that going to be enough to wipe this guy out? 11 hit points? I don't think so. Ugh, a 6 plus 6. That's pretty nasty. That's 12. I'm sorry, dude. The game is over for you. He maybe stumbles and falls to the floor immediately. Now, let's go over here. We're almost done with this. This is getting sloppy. This is one thing you've got to watch out for. You never know what's going to happen. Let's just take a look over here real quick. So let's clean this up here, this little area up here too for you, so it doesn't look like such a mess. So we got a dead guy here with creepy music in the background. This guy's slumped face down on the ground. And let's change that up too. There we go. That's not that was a little annoying. So we did damage to him before. Is he going to get a chance to react? Let's go and pretend that these two have just seen each other and they've woken up. Unless I've made a mistake here, let's give the hill giant a chance to roll for initiative against Elafonissi. So here's his roll. Now that's a really strong one. That's 11 plus 3 is 14. Basic math can be a lot of fun sometimes, can't it? All right, let's give Elafonissi a roll. Let's take a look at her character sheet and what we have for her. So she's +2 on her rolls because of her high dexterity. So we're going to get a +2 to this, right? Oh, that's a crap roll. A 4. A 4 plus 2 is 6. You would think a monk that's this level with this skill that just cracked a guy in the face with her fist would be a little bit more ready to go than that. I should have given her a bonus, but hey, I'm trying to keep it fair. These hill giants like, woke up. He's got his club at ready right there on his side. Grab the club. It's like a one-step thing, not an attack of opportunity. He's just going to take a swing at her right away. The first thing she's going to do is try to disengage. Okay? The moment she realizes she loses the initiative, she's going to try to disengage. So if that's a free attack of opportunity, I'm going to give him 2 swings. Okay? Now remember, she's a high movement rate. Everyone else is a standard 12 movement rate. But if you look at her character sheet, she's 24. That's one of the things about being a monk. So imagine someone moving as if they're sprinting when they just take a big step like a basketball player. All right, so he gets his chance first, and then she gets to go second. Now, Elafonissi's only AC 0. He only needs a 12 to hit her, and I'm going to give him 2 attacks, okay? So this could be nasty for her. Well, there's a hit and a miss. All right. Now, hill giants with a big club are do 2 to 16 damage. This could smart. It won't kill her, but it could hurt. 2 to 16 is 2 d8s. Oh, that's 10. That's not too bad. So let's make a note of that on the sideboard over here. She's 40, and we're going to take that. We're going to take 10 off that right away, okay? So we're going to put this right next to her at 30. But that's enough. That's 25% of her life. This is one of the things about playing a monk in a first edition. It's nasty. Even though all these characters are max health and max hit points, she's not going to start chugging potions or anything. She's already stepped out of range of him. She's going to switch back to the staff and just go right into the face of him with the staff and fight him again. Now, this is happening about the same time that this happened. Even though everything's a quick segment, one round, when this guy stepped over and then Zollers attacked, then Mercedes attacked, and he took back in two swings, and all that kind of stuff happened, this is now being resolved. We kind of go back in time here. So this fella's got his club ready. He's standing right by the brazier. He took a swipe, conked her, hit her pretty hard, maybe even knocked her away from him. Let's give her just a silly little dexterity check to make sure that she's okay. Um, anything, let's do a d20 roll on this one, excuse me. Anything that's, I want to say, basically, she has +2. This is just use my judgment here. Let's give it 10% chance. So a 2 out of 20, 2 or lower out of 20 means she stumbles, okay? Oh my goodness, a 1. That's like the worst thing that could happen. You're supposed to be a monk. What's your problem? Let's say that when he hit her in an awkward place, and she's going to stumble and slam against the wall. So that's going to give him a chance to rush forward, right, and fire up another attack. And I'm going to go ahead and let him attack again while she's recovering from this. Now, normally what I would do is I'd give her a saving throw, and I think that's fair. Let's give her petrification, polymorph save. She only needs a 10 to do that. That save means that the moment he takes a swing, if she makes a saving throw, she'll completely avoid it, okay? Ooh, she didn't completely avoid it, and he's going to get that second swing at her at point-blank range right up against the wall. Now, she's a monk, and she'll be able to roll with the punches like an MMA fighter. She won't get crushed against the wall, but this could be nasty, okay? So, once again, these guys only need 12 to hit AC 0. There's no modifiers. There's no bonus or anything like that. A 12 or higher, and he's going to hit her again. Ooh, a 14. There's another hit right in the face of the monk with a big, heavy wooden club. That's 2d6 damage. She's already taken 10. Another 8. So that's 18 damage off of 40. What's that? 22? What's 40 months? That's nasty. She's in DS. This is exciting. So you have to have the moment of truth here when you're playing a character like this. You're like, okay, I just took a ton of damage. I have potions of extra healing on me. I could try to do some of my abilities. I could try using one of my magic items. In this situation, I think what she's going to do is actually just take a step forward and drop the staff and do 2 open hand attacks on him directly in the face. Okay? Because she's brave and reckless, and I think even though she's taken some nasty hits, that stumble was kind of a fluke. That's not really going to phase her or anything. She's not going to be like, oh no, I'll never hit him again. So to hit AC 0, she needs a 14. Okay? These guys are AC 4. She only needs a 10. We're going to do 2 open hand attacks. Each one of those is 3 to 13 damage. So we got 1 hit and 1 complete miss. 3 to 13 damage. Let's do this as 3d4. What we got here? 2, 2, 1, 5. Boy, that's not quite enough. We needed, I think, 8 total to get rid of this guy. So we're going to roll for initiative for these two again, see who happens. They hit her, he hit her. She's at 22 health left. She's pretty nasty. He can't really see this from where he is. These are brothers, okay? Mercedes is thinking, make sure this guy's dead. Finish blow, glancing over at this guy, make sure he's dead. That's the warrior in her. Vaeringjar is going to hightail it over here as soon as possible and try to climb walls to leap over here so he can backstab this guy, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to roll for Vaeringjar's initiative. Let's use different dice for the players. So let's give him an initiative roll. So let's give him a 6, a 9, a 5 is 14, and his dex bonus is what? What do we have for him? +2? That's pretty nasty, right? 9, 14 plus 2, that's 16. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a climb walls check, which would be a complete joke for him because I believe his climb walls ability is 100%. Yep. We're going to roll it anyway because you never know. You might roll a 0, 1. Okay, that's nowhere near. That's an 87. That's fine. Climb the wall deftly. It's just about 4 feet tall. Come to here and then get ready to attack. But we got to give everyone else a fair chance here. Let's give this ogre an initiative roll too. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's he's going to go. He's going to go second, and she's going to disengage one more time at high speed. I'm going to give her an initiative roll over here versus a 7, a 10, and 11. So she's able to move twice movement rate away from him. He's going to get 1 free hit, okay, 1 free swing. And after he does that swing, he'll be totally out of position. He'll be looking at her. So here we go. This could be nasty. Ooh, a 15. Nails her one more time. The damage on these guys is 2 to 16. That's 9 damage, okay? This is putting her down to probably around 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4. She's way out of range now, and she's nowhere she's going to engage again. Obscura sees this. The druid knows this is a sibling. The druid's immediately going to start moving rapidly. 1, 2, 3, 4 to move to start coming in here to heal her. She knows that her sister will bail her out in this kind of a trouble. She's had a lot of bad luck in this situation. The hill giant's like, oh, I'm going to get you. The hill giant's going to pursue, has no idea that Vaeringjar is about to leap off the stairs heroically, like you might see in a Dritz Duerden novel, and backstab this guy. So this is one of those situations where the player's being really creative, and the DM's got to kind of make up a rule. So what do you think this level 10 assassin would need to check? It can't just be a basic dexterity check, right? It's got to almost be like a roll to hit. It's an attempt to pull off a heroic diving, leaping attack on a hill giant who's kind of standing still, who's 10 feet tall, whose neck is exposed. Let's just use a percentile die chance for this. And let's see. His dexterity bonus is +2. Let's make that a +20% chance. And let's give it 50% chance to succeed because of his experience, plus the 20%. So 70% or less on this percentile die, and the move happens. If it doesn't do it, he's just going to bump into him and land on the ground next to him. Okay, 70% or less. Easy, 41. So, 2 weapons, 1 axe, one hand, 1 axe, the other hand. And let's get back him. Yeah, what does he need to hit this guy? A 12 minus the 4 means he only needs an 8. I'm going to give him an extra +2 bonus because it's from behind, and I will actually give him the backstab damage in this if he hits. This should wipe this guy out pretty handily. So what do we say? 12 minus 4 is 8, +2 is 6 or higher on either die. There's a 1 and a 2. So basically this is like an absolute whiff. So completely whiff with the first axe and then whiff with the second axe. Maybe off balance, maybe he stubbed his toe on the railing at the last second. I'm actually going to have him do a D20 roll to, he's going to need to save against, let's just say breath weapon save. His breath weapon save is 14. It's not really a breath weapon, but breath weapon saves are kind of like trying to get out of the way of dragon fire and things like that. So he needs a 14 to save against breath weapon. Otherwise he's going to tumble to the ground, right? An 18. Okay, so he's able to land flat foot. He's like, whoa, almost lost it here. The hill giant's like, what the devil is that? You didn't hit me, but I felt something whiz past my face. And the little girl that he looks at with the staff in her hand who just punched him in the face is running away. If I was a hill giant, I'd be like, I must kill little girl. So he's going to take a step around the corner, and we're going to roll for initiative and see what happens here. Now, while that's happening, the druid's able to move 2 spaces, and she's able to move 2. But he can still see her. And now he sees her. We'll see how that reaction happens with that. So let's roll for initiative with Vaeringjar, who's right here next to him. Let's do the hill giant first. So 4, 5, 11. Okay, so he's got a little 11. What does, leave the dice on the board so you can see it. What does he need? We're going to get +2 for him. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with the +2. So he's going to go, that's, 13? I don't need to roll initiative for them because they're not engaged in combat. They're just moving. So, he gets another attack. Is it a backstab? You know, it's tricky. This guy's focus firing and going after what he perceives to be a little girl, but he is striking him flat-footed from behind. I'm going to give him just a massive armor class bonus because not ogre, but the hill giant, he's not actively defending. Let's give him a +4 to hit this guy. I know it sounds a little gracious, but this guy hasn't been hit. He hasn't been tapped. He may not even be totally aware that he's right behind him. So he needs, what does he need? A 12. This guy to hit AC 0. These guys are AC 4. It means he only needs an 8. And I said I would give him an extra 4. So he needs a 4 or higher on each axe. A natural 20 and a 19. You know, this is what big brothers are for. Come in here and do double damage on someone in the back of the head with a black axe. Sounds like a lot of fun to me. So 1d8 +6 on each one of these, right? Where's our d8s at? Those are 10s. Getting them mixed up. Here we go. So this is a 10-sider. We don't need that. So let's do the blue one first for the blue die, the 19. Okay. That's 2 plus 6. That's going to flat out kill him. That's 8. That's 8. And this is the double damage roll. 2 plus 6 is 8. Double damage is 16. Sorry, dude. He's going to be eviscerated and splattered from behind. Just in time for the druid to get here. Now, no one knows if the guy upstairs woke up. I'm going to roll for that in a second and figure out what happens to that. But I want to give the druid a chance to do an action here. She's been waiting patiently. She sees her younger sister battered and bruised here. So if you were her and you're in that situation, what would you do? Does she have any kind of major? She can do cure light wounds just to stabilize, or cure serious wounds ×2. Let's do cure serious wounds just to make absolutely sure that we're not going to she's not going to die. Okay, so let's give her a 3d8 roll on that. Okay, because it's serious wounds, it's not light wounds. So where's the other 8-sider? I only have 2. Okay, we're going to do this as 3d8 roll, okay? So 2 and 7 is 9, plus another 1, 5 is 14. So this will heal back 14 points of damage. This will put her back around 36. So she's okay. She's only 14 low now. So you have to touch her to do that. So she's going to cast this 1 segment spell. All of my spells are a segment. I don't do a full round. And then cast this heal on her as she comes here, and she pauses for a moment. And then she's going to turn around and be prepared to face the giant again, but the giant's down. So just in time for Vaeringjar to come to the stairs, I'm going to give him a chance to hear noise, to hear what's happened upstairs. So what has happened upstairs? This guy here has made a bunch of noise and banging. The other fellow upstairs is drunk as well. I'm going to let our cleric move forward to here. We're going to have Mercedes come to the door worried about noise. We're going to have Zoller's start rushing over here to his siblings, but he's going to look up the stairs to see if anything comes. So we're going to, let's do it this way. Let's do a percentage chance here. So we're going to give... There's actually a hill giant sleeping upstairs. We're going to give him a 25% chance to come downstairs because all these attacks are on open flesh. This isn't hitting armor. No one yelled out. This guy died. But, there's a lot of noise. There's rain outside. There's the brazier burning here. The guy up top probably drunk. So let's see. What do we need? 25% or less, and a guy comes downstairs rapidly, like engaged, ready to fight. Anything higher than that, he just comes bumbling downstairs saying, hey, what's all the noise? Okay? So that is a 3. That means we've got another hill giant equipped and ready to go, storming down the stairs, ready to take action. So right when he gets here, he sees 1, 2, 3, 4 humans, a magic user, shiny plate mail wearer, a Tiger Nomad, and his cleric and plate. He can see over here that his buddy is dead. He can see that his other 2 buddies are dead. He can see the blood splattered against the wall. He can see the back of the assassin with his crazy gear at the bottom of the steps. Then he knows that this assassin is coming for him. This is the closest person. These look like heavily armored targets, but they're not in range. What would you do? Let's give him a morale check, okay? Let's just say that this hill giant, we'll give him a 2d6 roll for his intelligence, okay? So he's got an 8 intelligence. So let's roll. If we roll a d20 and we roll 8 or less, then he's going to be smart enough to go back upstairs. If we roll higher than that, he's going to be an idiot and run downstairs and engage in combat. So a natural 20. So he's just going to run downstairs and go roar and meet the assassin head on the staircase. Dollars isn't really going to try to do anything heroic and climb up on top of this, but he's just ready to do something. The cleric's going to move in a little closer, but not too close. And Obscure is just going to slide over to here and be prepared to do something in case this goes nasty. Elafonissi is just going to stay here with the druid who's considering who to heal and what to do next. So let's roll for initiative between these 2. So the giant just gets a natural set of 3d6. So 2 and 3, and 2 more is 5. And Vaeringjar gets +2 on his initiative rolls. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus a 2. So Vaeringjar is going to go first. Once again, this is, let's get his sheet up again so you can see it. He only needs a 12 to AC 0. This guy's AC 4. That means he only needs an 8. There's no other real bonuses going on here. He's on higher ground, so I'm actually going to take 1 penalty away. So you're having to swing at someone. You're not quite on the landing, not both on the landing yet. I'm just going to take away 1 point here. So he needs 5 or higher. And the first hand has -2. So that's actually a 1, another flub. And this is the offhand with no penalty, an 18, so that's brilliant. So he's going to do 1d8 plus 6. Simple roll right here. 1d8 plus 6 is 8. And the guy upstairs has 27 health. So we're just going to jot that in our magical DM cheating book, right? So we're going to put this here, 27 minus 8. That puts him down to 19 health. So we got a 19 health Dude, you can't see this pin very well. 19 health hill giant standing on the rafter surrounded by some of the most evil badasses of all of Greyhawk. Doesn't sound like a good idea. But he gets his chance. He's got his club ready. He's going to avenge his fallen brothers. Is he smart enough to raise the alarm? He just got engaged in combat, and the way the rules are in the first edition is that it's not like I attack, you attack, I attack. And all those attack rolls, kind of like strategy games, are supposed to kind of represent an exchange of melee attacks. So I'm not going to give him a chance to disengage. He has to attack back. So for Vaeringjar, he's AC -2. Now these guys need a 12 to hit 0. That means he needs a 14 or higher to hit Vaeringjar. An 11, that's a complete whiff. Swings the club, maybe hits the banister. Vaeringjar kind of ducks down. I'm going to give Vaeringjar one step right here to get square and take advantage of the flank. Let's go ahead and, is anyone else going to move? Anyone else going to do anything? I think that Mercedes would just watch. Zolorus is just going to stay, and Tola's just going to stay. These people are staying because they're not sure if there's been sound to alert everyone that's going on. I think Elafonissi and the Druid is going to hang tight here unless this guy starts coming down the stairs. There's no real reason for anyone to move. They're just kind of watching Vaeringjar dispatch this guy. Okay? So let's go ahead and do Vaeringjar's roll. Okay? So a 14 and a 4. Let's refresh. Remember this, we need to say it beforehand. Let's use the purple die as the main hand. That means it gets a -2 modifier. Okay, 20. Natural 20 -2. That's still strong. I'm going to give that a double damage bonus just because of the natural 20. The offhand is a 7. I'm pretty sure that would hit. He only needs a 12. Then minus the 4 would be 8. No. I'm going to say no. So that's a main hand hit. I'm going to give it a double damage modifier, even though there's a slight penalty because it's the main hand weapon. So, what do you need to roll for him? 1d8 plus 6. Let's double that up. Yes, I know. Sometimes people like, you can question that rule, but this is a badass assassin. He knows what he's doing. Probably a crotch shot if you ask me. Okay, so that's a 6. 7 plus 6 is 13 times 2 is 26. The guy only had 19 health left. This guy splattered on the stairwell. Very brutal, very dirty, very grimy, very nasty. You'll notice if you're a hardcore D&D player that the way I like to do initiative is a little different the way some people do. The reasoning behind that is because when you roll ability scores, you usually do 4d6 and keep the best 3. So since the modifiers are based on that scale, I don't want the modifiers to overpower the rolls. So I like to use the same rolls that you would do for the ability scores, and then that way the modifier affects this dice roll not as dramatically percentage-wise, instead of rolling a 20 or something. That way for monsters, we just roll 3d6 and that's all we ever get. That thing's a little different. Some of the main hand offhand rules I do at his level is -2 for the main hand, nothing for the offhand. The monk, she had more things she could have done. I'm not an awesome monk player. I played an assassin a lot, and I played a warrior a lot, and I played illusions a lot. Still learning monk, so she's not doing so great. She got really beat up. I'm going to need to study her and think of her tactics a little bit better for the next fight. So this is the first battle, okay? Everyone, this whole room's been wiped out. Everything's dead. Now what we're going to do here, this could be really nasty. I'm going to give, behind this door here and behind this door here are other hallways that might have guards. Now I know what's behind this door, and I'm going to make a roll, but I'm not going to tell you because you're the player. But I'm going to roll for this door. I'm not going to roll for this door. I'm going to roll for this door. If I roll 20% chance or less, someone's going to come stick in their head and go, "What was that?" Okay? And it'll just be a patrolling guard. 20% chance or less. So if I roll a 20% or lower on this beautiful blue percentile die, ready? Phew, 52. So no one comes to the door. Now I know what's behind this door over here as well. This isn't the Price is Right, but I know what's behind this door as well. I'm only going to give it a 15% chance for a patrol person to be there, okay? I know who's walking up and down this hallway. Now, you don't know because you're playing the game, right? 15% chance. 77. So no one's been alerted. No alarms have gone out. Hanging from the ceiling here is a little triangle. So no one really notices this. So what we're going to start doing now is do what I like to call pilfering. So let's see what everyone's pilfered. And let's go ahead and get the druid and the monk are going to move back to a more safe tactical position. Let's get our camera adjusted just a little bit here. Bear with me while I adjust the camera. Okay, let's pull this back a little bit. Okay, now you can see a little bit better. We'll just hide this for a moment. You don't need to see player panels for a moment. Let's give you more. Let's give you more. Give you more battle map. There you go. Okay. So, as I was saying, Elafonissi and the druid are going to move back over here. Sisters are protecting each other. The monk, remember, she can kind of heal herself, so she's going to do that ability. I'm going to give her plenty of time to get completely healed doing that. I'll roll for a wandering monster check after I take care of that. Let's get this off the screen here. Let's loot everything. And let's just do a minor little background audio adjustment because there's been some annoying popping that's been driving me batty. So I'm going to actually go into kill the torch sounds. We're just going to go for good old crickets. Does that sound good? And we're going to tone down this little ambient backing track. In fact, we're going to put that really low. There we go. So all you hear now is crickets. And maybe you start to hear the thunderstorm again. Remember how it was raining outside earlier? So let's just get that going in the background here. And the thing about this dungeon is all the floors are all stone. So, you know, this is puddles of water. You hear torch sounds are going to be echoing in this space. Let's just adjust this again real quick. I'm going to kill this. There we go. All right, so we got a monk healing herself over here. Monks have a self-healing ability that they can do. I'm going to allow her to do it because we're out of combat, so we're not counting rounds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rule for her have the opportunity to do that once a day type of ability and completely heal herself full for now. And let's kill the crickets and just have storm. Okay? No more crickets. So, what do these guys have on them? Let me just check real quick and let's find out. So, of the two snoring fellows, they were just, these guys here, they were just drinking and supposed to be on guard duty. There's really nothing there. But there was a bunch of bags on the wall, right? And, you know, now might be a good time to check that out. But these two over here are focusing on getting healed up and maybe keeping an eye on the walkway. But Antolo's going to check this corpse out here. And these guys don't really have much of anything. So they don't really have anything of any major value. So the two guards are pretty much like no money on them or anything of merit at all. But the bags over here can be checked. Mercedes checks this one. So Vaeringjar is going to check the guy from upstairs. Let's see what he has. Now he's wearing a belt, and it's got a few gems set in it with a gold bar. The gems are worth about 100 gold each. Vaeringjar is not really a hardcore gem collector. There's a gold belt buckle like you might see in like a championship belt, but if you take the buckle off, it functions as a piece of jewelry. But for Vaeringjar, you know, it's maybe a 1,400 gold piece of jewelry. Their motivation is to recover the child that's been abducted, not to collect piddly gold piece oriented loot. These guys are level 10, 11, and 12. That's not interesting to them. They're going to leave that there, okay? That way, if someone discovers these bodies later on, in fact, what we're going to do is he's going to drag this body up these stairs here, then come back down. His brother's going to give him a hand, and then we're going to move this other body all the way up to the tower. And so we're going to say that we're going to position the bodies upstairs to make it look like they were punching each other. You never know, right? You got to be creative as a player. Mercedes is not going to drag a hill giant. She's too much of a snob for that. In her mind, she's going to go listen at this door because these two big, massive doors mean something to her. So she's really interested in that. So let's give Mercedes a chance to listen at this door. I'm going to give her just a good old D20 roll against her intelligence, okay, to see if she hears anything. It's not hard to hear anything, but you still kind of need to be able to figure out, like, what is that sound I'm hearing through this doorway here, especially when you're in foreign territory. Now, she has 16 strength and 16 intelligence. She's a very intelligent person. That's a 1. So I'm basically just going to say that she can tell exactly, that's way under what her statistic is, she can tell exactly what's happening in the background. And we're going to kill this rain sound in the background. There we go. And we're going to kill this music because we're going to wind things up here. Let's turn this down real low. We can do this right here on this mixing board. There we go. All right, cool. So, Obscura comes in closer. Antola comes in over here. Now notice how these are all sticking together. These are siblings, siblings, siblings. There's always going to be the unnatural affinity to stick together. Mercedes holds her finger mailed, plate mail finger up to her and says, listen. and asks for Obscura and the cleric to come listen, and then Tola. So behind this door, they hear the sound of like a big roasting fire and a bunch of joking around and hill giants talking and hamming it up and slamming stuff on tables, and they sound kind of slurred speech, like it was like a party going on in there, like maybe 20 or 30. She's not stupid enough to open the door, right? So behind these two double doors is almost it sounds like a tavern, like a big party, a festival going on. So they whisper that to each other, and they decide, listen, what we need to do, this with the young one heard over here, let's go back and regroup and maybe check out these other side doors. Maybe they have less heavily populated areas. We don't want to kick in the front door in the biggest room possible. In fact, let's go do this area first. So now these two guys are going to come downstairs and realize that they're listening at the door and they're thinking about moving. They aren't really communicating, and everyone's kind of whispering. You can still hear each other, but they aren't even taking care of the corpses. So for the Ket players, they don't really care. They're like, so what? It's dead. These Tiger Nomads are much more improvisational. They understand leaving a body means leaving a clue behind what happened. So in this situation, they decide to spend the time and drag the body of these two guys all the way up the steps to here, and then all the way up the steps to here. And when they get to the top, they say, listen, you know what? Let's just throw them over the railing. Then we'll throw them, they'll flunk on the ground outside, and no one will see anyone. And it'll be like Billy and Johnny abandoned their posts, and we could just clean up this mess here. Let's kill these little numbers off the screen so you can see things better. All right, good, cool. So Mercedes wants to take command of the situation. With a female personality like her, she's going to come over here. Is she okay? Will she be all right? Do we need to go back to the cave? Kind of insinuating kind of passive-aggressive nastiness. The monk is neutral, not really offended by that. The monk is completely healed. She's like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. The druid looks at her kind of like, what kind of an attitude do you have? Obscura is there backing up her sister. But the cleric's actually genuine concern. She says, listen, I think we need to go check out this area first. I don't really care what's in their bags or what's going on with that. But what are your two brothers doing? So just about the time that they ask that question, let's just thump these guys over the railing, and they fall down the pit. I'll show you the map real quick for a laugh. So I'm not really going to overlay that with a glass or anything, just to give you a quick little snippet. So what's going to happen here is the corpses of the other baddies get tossed over the railing, and so they're going to end up flumping on the ground out here. So you got these 4 dead hill giants that tumbled and fumbled, pretty bloody mess, thrown out the tower window. Didn't leap to their death, but that's a permanent marker on the map. They're far enough away from the edge. They won't tumble and roll down the hill, but when it's raining, the rain's going to wash all the blood, and there's going to be a nasty mess, and it's going to be all down here. So if someone discovers this, they'd have to come out the front door and walk all the way around. So their idea is pretty smart. I really like that. If I was there, that's what I would do. So let's get rid of this map, and let's get these two guys. They're going to come down to the landing, hop over the railing, and then jump over here and join everyone, have a quick little powwow conference of what they're going to do next. And the next plan of attack is, let's go check out this door. So we need to go back into silent mode. This mess is pretty much cleaned up. So what we're going to do is this. Why don't we set it up this way? She's seen how effective Vaeringjar is. She doesn't really trust the young monk. Vaeringjar and I will go to the door. I'll let Vaeringjar go down the hallway and scout it out first. And Zolars is like, I'll come with you. So there's going to be the two fighters are here. Vaeringjar, they're going to open a door as a group, and he's going to move down into the hallway beyond, and Tolo's going to sit over here. The druid is just going to sit back, and Mercedes is going to sit back here. Let this play out, see what happens, and Obscura is just going to stay over here by the opening so she can slip right back out again if things go nasty. Okay, so the first major entrance battle has been finished. Yippee! So far everyone's arrived at the location, and they've come inside. They've dispatched everything in the first room. You got a chance to see how some of the gameplay works out. I always try to make it feel like it's for you, the player, and not really. I know what's behind the scenes as the dungeon master, but I try to walk you through some of the things I try to do to make it fun, so you get a sense of what it's like to really be at the gaming table. So that wraps up this episode. Hope you've had fun with it, and if you have any feedback or comments, I'd love to hear it. If there's any kind of performance issues or weird sound issues, those will get better with time as I keep trying to do these, and we'll see what happens next. This is a really big dungeon. There's a lot of cool stuff to go find out back here. So this is what we're going to do in the next episode. So keep an eye on the Facebook page or my Patreon page. I'll try to announce schedules there. If you want to support me on Patreon, I'll give you an inside look at some of the photographs of the film setup and the glass that broke yesterday that was totally hilarious, and some of the behind the scenes stuff. I might even share some of the storyline dialogue I wrote was very fictional at the beginning of tonight's episode. So check out those resources. There's links in the Twitch channel. There's links on the YouTube video. And I'll go to my Patreon page for classic_DM, and you can find all kinds of cool stuff there too. And we'll talk to you later. Hope you had fun, and have a great evening. Stay safe, and don't let the hill giants get you.